If you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you had a time where your English was improving so quickly and things felt effortless, fun, and you were so motivated. And then at some point, you hit a wall. You're not progressing as fast anymore. You feel like you'll never be able to speak fluently, naturally, and confidently ever, and you're just not as motivated anymore. And that's called the intermediate plateau, where you can understand and speak in most situations, but you, for some reason, want more but feel stuck. You don't know how to get to the next level. At least for me, that was my experience when I was improving my English. So today, I prepared 5 tips that I use to improve my English and get out of that intermediate plateau. Without further ado, let's get started. But let me tell you a little bit about my background. So my name is Chelsea and I was born and raised in Korea. And when I was 17, our family moved to the United States, Irvine, California. When I first moved to the United States from South Korea, I was in shock to know that all the English I had learned in school in Korea was just for tests, was not for real English. They were textbook English that none of these native speakers actually used in real life. Back in Korea, I thought my English was pretty good because I always had high scores. And I took a lot of pride in it. And then I come to the States, I go to the pizza store. I'm so nervous, I can't even say, "Can I have a slice of pizza?" I just point at things because I was so scared of making mistakes. So here are the 5 things that I tried to improve my awkward English. Number 1, focusing on the right things. If you're watching this video, I can guarantee you your English is already good enough. You know the basics already, right? Grammar, vocabulary, all these things. But have you tried fine-tuning other things like intonation, context, interactive skills? For example, when I first came to the United States, I was using my Korean intonation to speak American English. I would say, "How are you? My name is Chelsea. Nice to meet you." As opposed to, "How are you? My name is Chelsea. Nice to meet you." The melody, the rhythm, do you see the difference? And of course, you should never feel embarrassed by your own accent or intonation, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you that there are ways to fine-tune your English to sound even more natural. Once I started to pay attention to these things, my English improved so quickly. So if you're like me, who's, focused on grammar, vocabulary, I highly recommend you to start paying attention to these things and see how it feels. Number 2, monitor your input and output ratio. It's like watching 100 workout videos and not actually exercising and hoping that you will all of a sudden develop muscle and lose weight and all these things. Language learning works the same way. If you're already watching a lot of YouTube videos, Netflix, TV shows, movies, everything in English, but you're not outputting, which means you're not writing enough, you're not speaking enough, you're not using them in real life enough, that's not yours yet. There are so many research studies that support this, that you need to have a healthy balance between input and output. And actually, there are so many other research that suggest you need to prioritize output. In my case, I tried these things for output: talking to myself, shadowing movies and TV shows, making online international friends to practice English with. And the best thing is to make real friends in real life to practice English with, which I understand can be hard. If you feel like you're not doing your output enough, just pick one that is most fun and convenient for you. If making real life friends is hard for you, try shadowing. In my case, I did shadowing of Gossip Girl, this TV show, a lot. And what I did was I picked a character that I really, really like. In my case, it was Blair Waldorf. And she, every time she says something, I would mimic what she said in her intonation. And I pretended like those characters, other characters, were talking to me as if I was Blair. This method is amazing because you start to adopt their style of speaking, their accent, their intonation, and it worked really, really effectively for me. And number 3, don't blame yourself. Take a look at the environment. When I'm trying to learn something or to improve something, I oftentimes get into this self-beating mode when I forget to do it that day, or I have no motivation to do it that day. It's really easy for me to blame myself and judge myself, to call myself lazy, unmotivated, not disciplined enough. But what I realized was the more I beat myself up for being lazy, next day I noticed that my energy was even more drained and I'm under this high pressure that I need to do better today. I need to do even more today. And then of course that's unrealistic, and then I end up failing again. And the next day I do it again and again and again and again. It becomes a vicious cycle of self-beating and hating and calling myself lazy and then not making progress. So instead, what I started to do was to approach things with curiosity, analyzing how I spent my day to see if there's anything else I can do. Maybe I found out the learning material that I was using, maybe that's a textbook, and it just is not engaging, and then I just get distracted easily. So then you can maybe switch around your schedule to have your English lesson in the morning when you have more energy. The point is, it is not you that's lazy. It's the system. It's made to be hard for you. Figure out a way to make your system work for you. With curiosity, you can switch things around, experiment with your habits and your schedule to make English learning accessible and easy for you. Number 4, surround yourself with others. Have you ever had someone that really inspired you? It can be your favorite YouTuber, favorite mentor, or a friend that inspires you. You know that feeling of hot passion inside that excites you and you want to get up and do something. Well, you have to surround yourself with what you need. Becoming fluent is a big goal, and you can't do it by yourself. That's unrealistic. Find out what makes you excited to learn. Maybe that is, other learners, a community of people who are learning the same things as you are. Or maybe it's a friend that's like a cheerleader, and every time you feel down, that person really believes in you and will be there for you. Or maybe it's feedback that you're missing and you need a native speaker friend or a tutor to help you and call out when you're making any mistakes. Change your expectation that you will always be motivated and you will always be able to figure it out and be disciplined by yourself. Bring in others to your journey, whether that's a teacher, whether that is a supportive community, that is speaking partner, what have you, and you are not alone. And last but not least, number 5, be kind to yourself. This is a hard one because I remember when I first moved to the US, I used to cry literally every single day. I was so mad that I couldn't bring my full self in English. I felt like in Korean, I can be witty, I can be funny, I can be smart, I can be competent and actually get things done. But I felt like with English, whether it is real or not, I felt like people just probably think I'm an idiot. People probably think I'm not smart. People probably think that I'm less than who I am. And that thought really crushed me. But then I realized I was comparing myself to all these native speakers who were born with the language. And then I looked at my Korean friends who were also living in the States who struggled with their English. They were actually looking at me as if my English is really good and they wanted to speak like me. And then it hit me. You know what? You're right. I did make a lot of progress to get here, and to some people, my English level is what they want to be. And yes, I don't speak like a native speaker just yet, but no, that doesn't mean that I don't speak any English. I'm being hard on myself. I made all this progress. So if you're someone like me who puts a high expectation for yourself, I know it's really hard, but focus on your progress that you had made. Look how far you've come. If you're listening to this YouTube video, your English is already really, really good than most people. You put in the work to get here this far. And look at yourself right now. You can easily be consuming content in your own language, but you are taking the time to watch this video in English. If you focus on how far away you are from the goal, it's just going to feel like forever. But if you choose to enjoy the process to get there and focus on your everyday progress and be proud of yourself every day, you will eventually get there and the journey will be a lot more enjoyable, which means you are less likely to quit. All right, so these were the 5 things that I tried to get my English to the next level when I felt stuck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and please share in the comment section what you guys have tried and what worked and didn't work for you. If you leave a comment down below, I'll respond to every single one of those. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so that you can be notified when the next video is up. With that, I will see you in the next video. Bye!